we haven't even mentioned the massacre in Orlando and the abhorrent violence that was visited upon this place of sanctuary for the LGBTQ community. And so, I think this backlash is real, and the violence that we face as a community is real, and for some people it's every day. It's not on a scale that we saw in Orlando, but it's the unrelenting rates of violence and poverty that folks, LGBTQ people, and particularly folks of color, are continuing to face in this country. And so, this is not a time for complacency. This is a time for action and engagement and visibility, and it's a time more than ever for folks to step up as allies, and allies come in a lot of different forms in our community, right? As a white cisgender lesbian woman, I am called to be an ally to LGBTQ communities of color, to transgender communities, just as my, straight neighbors are called to be allies, to me and across the community. And so I think that there's a lot of room for, for continued growth and understanding, and certainly a lot of policy left to change, and a lot of work to do on the ground to ensure that, folks not only have the legal protections, but they're actually feeling that in their everyday lives.
Absolutely. And in regard to Orlando, so when I've looked at media coverage over the last, now 10 plus days since the tragedy in Orlando, I've seen so many images of both pride, monuments lit up with our colors, and all of these gatherings around the country, Knoxville, Tennessee, here in Portland, Paris, France, around the world. And then you have things like the House Democrats last night taking a strong stand, trying to get a vote for gun rights. So there are a lot of allies that are speaking out. Just want to ask you if you could elaborate. Do you think that it's possible for an event of this scale to ultimately, historically, bring some good, kind of like a Stonewall, where it could be a coming together moment? I mean, we have so much visibility right now with this event in Orlando. There's so much LGBT coverage on TV and nationally. Do you think that some good will ultimately come from this if we can, like you said, re-engage?
I sure hope so. I mean, I think we just had the 1-year anniversary of the attack on the church in North Carolina. We've seen, time and time again, the attacks in our schools. Now we're looking at places of worship and schools and malls and movie theaters and LGBTQ nightclubs. There's no one in this country, sort of no community left that hasn't been impacted by gun violence. And the time to act is absolutely now. I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful. I'm an eternal optimist that people will be, moved to take action and to engage and to call for change. And I remain hopeful that these recent events and all that have come before will lead to that collective action.
Excellent. So I have 2 remaining questions for you today, Jeana. Regarding Basic Rights Oregon, what is Basic Rights Oregon working on right now? And if any listeners want to contact or engage with Basic Rights Oregon, how can they find you?
Basic Rights Oregon, we're really keep an active presence on Facebook to keep folks up on the latest, and our website is basicrights.org. I would encourage folks to get in touch. We have volunteer opportunities year-round in all sorts of activities. Our focus areas right now, we've just launched a new cohort of our leadership development program for LGBTQ folks of color. It's called Our Families, and there's 18 really amazing leaders that will be participating in that year-long program. We have a trans justice working group of volunteers who are helping to guide our community organizing and policy work in our transgender justice program. We do work across the state. We'll be out at prides in local communities all summer long and into the fall. So we'd love for folks to meet up with us in their communities or go on the road with us if they are interested in staffing those Pride booths and seeing what's happening out there across this incredible state of ours. So those are just some of the, some of the things that are going on at Basic Rights Oregon these days.
What sticks for you both in your personal and professional life? What are the plans for the near future?
Sure. Well, personally, I'm taking a break as I step down from Basic Rights Oregon later in July. A big part of that break will be playtime with my kids over the summer and finishing up wedding planning. I'm excited to be marrying my partner of now nearly 5 years, Colin McFadden. She's a local chef with she's owned Byways Cafe over in the Pearl District for almost 2 decades now. Nice. So I'm really excited about that and looking forward to it. And professionally, I have yet to make any decisions. I'm really looking to focus on the family this summer, to steal a term from our opponents, and then I'll look at the fall about what will be next for me professionally.
Thank you, Jeana. So it's been a historic decade in Oregon, a historic decade for Basic Rights Oregon, and I just want to thank you for your service and your genuine commitment to this community of which you and I are both a part of, and we're both Oregonians. So it's been a really meaningful conversation with you, and I truly appreciate you coming on Gay News Radio to share part of your experience with Basic Rights and to share this with our listeners. Just thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the opportunity to share some of the incredible experiences that I've had in this role.
All right. Best wishes to you in the future. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you too, Brandon. Take care.
You've been listening to Gay News Radio on the GNR Radio Network. Download our mobile app for iPhone and Android today. And have a good gay.